Welcome back to Away with Old Thinking Patterns. I'm Dr. H.J. Muhammad. Thank you for your love offering. You are here offering your undivided attention, and we accept your love offering. Today's topic, mastering the art of detachment. Just knowing when to take a step back. Now, you know I love my dictionaries, right? My dear sister, Minister Tainetta Muhammad, advised us to never go anywhere without a dictionary. I used to carry a book bag with multiple books, and one of those books was always a dictionary. In today's world, dictionaries are now digital. If you enjoy spiritual teachers, Google her. She's a master at incorporating mathematics and science in her delivery and instruction on spiritual topics. May Allah be pleased with her, and she will truly be missed. Now, the American Heritage Dictionary of the English Language, the 5th edition, defines detachment as the act or process of disconnecting or detaching, separation. The state of being separate or detached, indifference to or remoteness from the concerns of others, aloofness, the act of detaching or separating, or the state of being detached. Now, I've been courting AI recently, trying to learn it and incorporate it into my lesson plans. Its trade name is artificial intelligence, but our dear brother, the great Kaba Khomeini, calls it ancestral intelligence. That's another great teacher. I advise you to Google him as well. But ChatGPT says that the law of detachment is, in order to acquire anything in the physical universe, you must relinquish your attachment to it. Oof, that's heavy. Now, this doesn't mean giving up your desire. It means giving up the need to control how or when it manifests. True power comes from faith, trust, and surrender, not from force and not from obsession. Now let's clear up all the misconceptions on detachment. Detachment isn't losing, and it also isn't giving up. It's not an act of surrender. It's actually victory, because your time, your energy, your attention, and your focus, that's your currency. It's safe to say detachment is taking a step back and evaluating someone or something without emotion, but with intellect and with deep analysis. It's problem solving, and it's also decision making in action. Detachment is often a gradual pullback of your energy, your attention, and also your power. The severity of the situation will determine a more suitable or quick detachment, and that would be when you're under physical harm or extreme disrespect or betrayal. Detachment means no one or nothing is owning you or holding you hostage, physically, emotionally, morally, or spiritually, in order to minimize, reduce, or eliminate pain, suffering, and anxiety. Detach to take away empowering something or someone, basically. Stop giving away your power. Detachment is one of the highest forms of self-love, giving your energy to things, people, or situations that should be held for self. Detachment brings freedom, justice, and equality. Knowing when to detach or when to step back is very, very key. Now let me go over a couple of signs that you need to recognize to know when you need to detach from something, someone, or a situation. When your energy is drained, when you feel extreme sadness, when you feel depressed. Feelings of depression is a big one. When you feel overwhelmed, when you feel obsessed with whatever it is, when you feel that level of obsession, it's time to detach. When you have an overactive nervous system, that means when every cell in your body is in disarray. When you fail to connect to who or what is important in your life. While I was employed as a correctional officer, I failed to emotionally connect to my daughters. My body was there, but my soul was still trapped inside that prison. I was detached from the role as mother. So I end up detaching from that role, and then I applied to be a counselor. However, the damage was done. To my young daughters, I was emotionally unavailable, especially at crucial times. And this was in their preteen and their teen years. So it's important as a parent not to detach emotionally from your children. How to detach? You must give yourself permission and instructions to detach. Make an affirmation. I detach from whatever it is. I recall my power. Open, open your eyes and search for other valuable options. In my case, I accepted an option that was available, but I was not looking to take advantage of it. Once I accepted the fact that a change was needed for my sanity and my well-being, I could literally see the other options. Incorporate regular self-care days. A good friend of mine convinced me to choose a day and a schedule to devote to self-care. So I had to choose that day and I had to add it to my schedule. I chose to take weekly spa baths every Wednesday evening. I surrounded my tub with rose quartz crystal and even added a few rough pieces to my water and soaked in this high vibrational water for an hour or more. Another way to detach is fasting. It teaches you to delay and deny. It will definitely help you, empower you to detach. Another way is to change your diet. That helps to develop new thinking patterns, and you can form new habits. Prayer will help you realign with the true and living God. Oftentimes we put people or situations in his place, and this is the root of the problem. Detachment and prayer will help you discover this. Other options is meditation, journaling, sometimes writing and seeing the words help. Ask yourself these questions. What needs to be detached? My emotions, my energy, my presence. What is costing me my peace? What is it that is causing you to not be able to detach properly? Ego is our biggest adversary in letting go. Our ego wants to control what needs to be released. But failure to detach due to addiction to the person, situation, or emotions or drama, or finding our identity in a situation or role playing. Fear of carrying out the judgment process and acting as a judge because a decision must be rendered. Fear of leaving a person or a group. Many people are held hostage by a friend group. They choose to stay attached to a situation where they are under the control of another person or group for fear of being ostracized or kicked out of the group. You stay and you remain food for the leader and the entire group. You're like a servant bound never to outshine the leader of that group. The inability to let go is a demonstration of a God who failed to rescue us and this is passed down through DNA. It's mitochondrial as trauma is passed down from mother to child, especially to daughters. But let me ask you a question. What happens if you don't detach? Well, detachment is for the benefit of ending long suffering and receiving a lesson and entering a new chapter in your life. It helps you from suffering from being a victim in a Stockholm syndrome. So detachment helps free you from a Stockholm syndrome. Merriam-Webster defines Stockholm syndrome as the psychological tendency of a hostage to bond with, identify with, or sympathize with their captor. You start to love that which is controlling you or adding discourse in your life. You remain a slave to the captor and stay consumed, injured or destroyed emotionally, spiritually, or physically, or all three. In a counseling session with men in segregation in a male maximum security prison, I led a discussion on Stockholm Syndrome and challenged each man to apply the Stockholm Syndrome to their life. And I asked them to ask themselves if they were captured and living in this phenomenon. Shortly afterwards, a young man who was a hitman for a specific gang, he contacted the prison leadership and reported that he no longer wanted to identify or associate as a gang member. You see how powerful an assessment of this magnitude can make on one's life? It's necessary to ask oneself, who is hindering me? What is hindering me? Who or what is controlling me? Who or what wants to hold me to an old version of myself and being an impediment to my evolution? Who or what is muting me? Who or what is disrespecting me, and who or what is destroying me? What I should be awarded after detachment. Freedom, justice, and equality. Isolation brings detachment to break away from false attachments and to increase discernment. Consecration. It's a powerful word. It's the act of separating oneself from what is unclean. Now, this is the process that popes go through. They go through to select the chief pope. In the Old Testament, Leviticus and Exodus, priests went through a consecration process where the priest separates themselves from past evils or bad behavior and cleanse themselves to prepare themselves to be used by God. See, all of these priests were popes in waiting. But they went through this process so that if they're chosen, they already are in a state of mind of being a pope. It's what we need to do. Detachment allows one to experience a form of autophagy, and that's an emotional or spiritual autophagy. Merriam-Webster defines autophagy as the biological process that involves the enzymatic breakdown of a cell's cytoplasm or cytoplasmic components, such as damaged or unneeded organs or proteins, within the lysosomes of the same cell. Lysosomes? I think that's how you pronounce it. Lysomes? I don't know. I'm not really good with Latin, but I think that's what it is. This is what the body eats toxins or starving it so that it dies. Detachment allows one to release what is toxic to our spirit, and when we do that, it dies. Detachment is recalling your energy and saving it for yourself and redistributing it to where your energy best serves you. Detachment is an act of self-empowerment. Be prepared for the very people you recall your energy from to feel offended and to assume the victim role. That's the Cartman theory. They use the Cartman theory, and they use it they use it to manipulate you and to try to act as if you were the persecuted, when in fact your detachment was caused by their persecution. They have lived off your energy, or it has lived off your energy long enough that it feels, or they feel, entitled to your energy as if it was theirs. Getting what you deserve, that's a universal law. What you chase moves further away from you, and what you don't chase is manifested. Detachment allows your nervous system to regulate from toxic and unsafe situations where it's physical or emotional. The nervous system reacts. Now you regain total control of your nervous system and repair the endocrine system relationship as the endocrine system acts on the messages from your nervous system. Feeling freedom, something you probably never felt. Once you detach, you will feel that. It will feel weird, even uncomfortable, but you will adjust. The cliche of let them go, if they come back, that means that they were yours or it was yours. This is the test. Do you go back to that which enslaved you, hurt you, or abused you? Well, that's the determining factor of self-love. If you love yourself more, you would detach from those things that you love. You would detach from those things that you love that are harmful to you. Detachment isn't losing, as I want to reinforce that point. Detachment is actually gaining. It's addition by subtraction. You detach from that which is causing you harm, and by doing that, you're adding to yourself. This is a powerful lesson. I pray that you understand the lessons in this podcast. I pray that you are able to practice the journaling, the meditation, all those things, the prayer, all those things that can help you detach, the fasting. I pray that you utilize all of those tactics so that you can learn to detach from those things that are harmful to you. These are the things that are preventing you from being happy and growing into your ideal self. I pray that this topic was helpful, and I pray that our future topics are helpful to you as well. You can hear us and talk to us on Substack. So please subscribe to Substack and stay tuned for our next topic. Peace.